Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody, guys. Today we'll take a look again on the euro currency. Well, probably needless to say that the situation here is really sophisticated. We of course understand that mostly market is driven right now by the solutions on the Greece crisis. So, and the results of this solution will impact on the market will lead market to the upside, or euro currency could fail and show significant plunge. We understand that, and maybe our analysis will not be as useful as usually. Maybe it will appear totally in vain, because the technical analysis is the one thing, but the market is driven by the fundamentals. It's quite another thing. And of course, fundamentals and geopolicy will overrule definitely the technical analysis. Technical analysis mostly works when the market stands on its own and could be driven by its own factors, its own laws. So still, maybe current view on the market will let us to find something interesting, will let us to find some levels to watch for. That will help us to estimate the direction at the early stage of the action. So if market will break one level or another, we will be able to make the conclusion on the further direction, and that will let us to take the corresponding position. So meantime, on the daily chart, we see the same range that we have discussed within the previous couple of weeks. This range of the plunge when Greece has announced the default payment to the IMF, and market mostly stands inside of it. We have said millions of times why these ranges are very important for the traders, and what meaning it gives us. So when the market stands for a long time in a wide range, instance in decision, once it has will break either for the upward border or downward border, it will choose the direction. And usually when the market breaks out from the long range candle, it moves in the same direction for a considerable period of time and for a significant distance. That's why this range is very important. So first levels to watch for here are the same, the extreme points of this candle. So if market will break it to the upside, it means that upward action will continue. If market will break it to the downside, so you understand that. Well, another pattern that we've got on Friday is this bearish stop grabber. This grabber is very important, not because it points on the level, its target, but also because in fact this pattern is the only pattern that we have right now on the euro currency. Grabber increases the chances of the downward continuation, and the target of this grabber stands at these lows. It's 1 or 8 lows. It means that if market will move lower, it should wash out these lows. But if this will happen, this probably will mean the final breakout out of this range. That's why this grabber is very significant. In the high time frame charts, if you would like to know this, you could read our weekly research, but on the monthly chart, on the weekly chart, we also see some signs that are not quite natural for the bullish market. Initially, if you remember our former analysis that we prepared a month ago approximately, we said that it's very probable that market could show the retracement right to the 118 area. And that was our first expectation, that maybe market will bounce up, and we have seen this rally. We said, well, market could complete this ABCD pattern and will lead us to the 118. But in the recent couple of months, market stands very flat. And that not quite natural for normal bullish behavior. Based on the patterns that we have on the monthly, based on the patterns that we have on the weekly, move down here, this move down was also not very logical. But still, currently, market hasn't passed through the final edge for the crucial levels that could totally erase the chance on the upward action. That's why we should be extra careful with the trading on the euro currency right now. So let's keep in mind this grabber. That's important. Now, guys, I would like to return back to the discussion of the analysis that we have prepared on Friday, and we said, well, if we get lucky, we could get a relatively rare Jordan-Napoli directional pattern that calls us the head and shoulders failure. And the attractiveness of this pattern stands in the early signal that it could give us, because it gives very early signal of the failure of the head and shoulders pattern that lets us to take the position much earlier than the classical failure of the head and shoulders pattern. Let's see what has happened with this setup and what we could do right now. On the 4-hour time frame chart, we mostly have taken the bet on this resistance. We said, well, this is really strong resistance, confidence level, weekly pivot point, monthly pivot point, and probably it should hold market from the further action. And if market will fail here, return right back down to the neckline of this head and shoulders that we will see a bit later on the hourly chart, that could become the pattern that we are watching for. But unfortunately, guys, we have to acknowledge that this setup mostly has failed. I mean the Jordan-Napoli directional, because take a look, the market has passed through this strong resistance cluster. It has broken through it, although market right now stands below the monthly pivot point, but confidence resistance level has been broken, as well as weekly pivot point, so you can see market stands above the weekly pivot point. The only valid fib level right now is this resistance, 112.37, 112.40 area. That's the only level that's still valid. What does it mean for us? It doesn't mean that the market can't move down. It could. It just means that we haven't got the Jordan-Napoli direction. We haven't got the Jordan-Napoli head and shoulders failure pattern that could make our task much simpler. This setup hasn't been formed because market hasn't stopped right here, hasn't turned down here, but break through it, erase this resistance, and that's why this setup hasn't been formed. Should we forget about the possible downward continuation? Absolutely not. That really could happen. Still could happen. And from that purpose, we will need the hourly chart. On the hourly chart, guys, we see the same head and shoulders that we have discussed on Friday. But here, we probably can't speak on possible failure of the head and shoulders, because as you can see, market mostly has completed the minor target. So it has completed A, B, C, bottom, D pattern with this upward rally. It has completed this pattern and shows retracement down. So what we will be watching for? Here, on Monday, we will be watching for a couple of levels. The first important level is this top, because this is the top of the daily grabber. And if market will move above it, it will raise this grabber, and it will mean that the chance on upward continuation will increase, and market probably will continue to move higher, especially when we will know the results of the possible agreement on the Greece. Second level that we will be watching for is weekly pivot point, because if market will return right back down and drop below the weekly pivot point, it will tell us that probably grabber will start to work, and at least this will be the moment where we will be able to take the bet on this grabber and try to take the short position, because the price will stand below these lows. It's already significant distance, and risk-reward ratio will be acceptable. That's two levels. That's two moments that we'll be watching for in the short-term perspective on Monday. So that's shortly our position on the euro currency, what we expect. So again, that's been said. That's the wide range that we will be watching for, is two levels here. Another levels that we'll be watching for our chart. Particularly, guys, shortly speaking, for us, the major task right now is to understand whether the grabber will survive or it will fail. If it will survive, we could try to take the short position based on this grabber, if it will be valid. Right now, we do not see any other patterns that we could stick with in the short-term trading on the euro currency. Probably only this pattern. But the chances on the downward direction really exist, and we absolutely, despite that we haven't got the Jordan-Napoli directional, absolutely doesn't mean that the market can't turn down and continue moving on. So let's see what we've got.